I have to say that I think fall in Paris is my favorite season, and one of the best ways to know that fall has come to Paris is by the change in the Parisian girls' wardrobe. Parisian girls have just certain things that they really rock consistently every single fall. You just see it on girl after girl after girl as she is strutting down the street. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you the 5 incredibly chic and cute things that I see Parisian girls wearing year after year, fall after fall. Hello, my name is Adriel. I'm an American who lives in Paris. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, the number one thing I see Parisian girls pull out when fall hits is the leather blazer or leather trench coat. And I have to say, I had really never considered ever wearing a leather trench coat or frankly a leather blazer until I basically started seeing it on everyone. And then I was like, maybe I can pull that off. Generally, I would say you see women pairing their leather blazer or even their leather trench coat with straight leg denim. That is one of the big things that is, I think, very quintessentially Parisian, is that you see women of all ages wearing straight leg or skinny jeans. Like, that is really the big style here. I would say younger, like high school age, you tend to see baggy jeans, but you're less likely to see kind of that crew with the full leather blazer, leather trench coat look. But either way, when you see the leather blazer, leather trench coat look, you see women tending to pair it with straight leg denim. You also might see them pairing it with, a skirt and then black tights and then high boots or low boots or even the dirty white sneakers. But that is one of the style things that I would say is very firmly exist in Paris during the fall. So personally, where did I get my leather trench? I got my leather trench from the brand Italique. Italique is actually a website, and what they do is they use what is called dead stock fabric, and then they make the item. So essentially, it's dead stock fabric is essentially when, let's say Louis Vuitton makes a whole bunch of leather trench coats and they have leftover leather fabric, they sell it someplace else, and then that person takes that fabric and remakes it into a garment. So you essentially get the Louis Vuitton material without the Louis Vuitton price. That's essentially Italique. They sell you essentially the Louis Vuitton trench, but without the Louis Vuitton price. So I got my leather blazer from the French brand Plume Paris. I really like them. I think they're a great place to get really cute and fun leather items, and so that's why I got it from there. And I'll definitely, of course, I'm linking to everything so you'll be able to snatch it up if you want to. But yes, so those are where I got mine. And that is the first thing that I think is incredibly cute and chic that I see Parisian girls wearing in the fall. So the second thing that I think is very chic that I see a lot of Parisian wearing in the fall is a Sherpa jacket. I personally do not have a Sherpa jacket yet. I have been looking at one for a really long time, and I've been hoping that the woman will reduce the price on it because it's vintage, but she won't. So I may have no choice but to just pay the price she wants for it. But anyway, the Sherpa jacket, I would say, is definitely something you see very heavily in the fall in Paris and also in the winter. It is something that you just see the girls rocking. Again, very often rocked with denim. That's kind of the most common thing, the straight leg denim. And generally the straight leg denim with a low boot, a low heeled boot, is something that you tend to see. You might also see it paired with cowboy boots. You see that a lot as well. But the point is that Sherpa, that vintage kind of Sherpa jacket, is something that you'll see on a lot of women walking around Paris. Okay, so the third item that I would say is quintessentially Parisian fall are what I like to call kicker pants. I don't know if that's the right term for them. My mom said that there was a term for them in the 70s, but I don't remember what that was. But basically what I'm trying to describe to you is a pair of pants that are straight in the leg and the thigh, and then they flare out just a tiny bit at the bottom. I call them kicker pants because that to me is what they are, but they just have a little kick at the end to them. These kicker pants are what I would say are very, very kind of Parisian chic fall kind of pant, and you see it all the time in the fall, particularly with the denim, but then also in a lot of pant styles that aren't even denim, you see this. I'm showing you kind of something similar that I have from Sézanne. It's not exactly what I'm thinking of when I think of like the kicker pants, but it's like the closest that I can come up with. And I actually have these pants as well. And I will say that if you have a little bit of curve, like the pants kind of give you that like kicker feel. But anyway, those pants, you see the girlies wearing them all the time. They tend to pair them with their little dirty white sneakers. So it's very Parisian in that regard. So another look that I think is super cute on the Parisian girls that they pull out very heavily during the fall are these oversized bomber jackets. And I will be frank in saying that I do not have one because I have tried some on in like vintage stores and whatnot, and it is just not a good look on me, right? Like, I'm already little. The last thing I need to do is make myself look even smaller. But on the girls who pull it off, they pull it off so well. And I'm showing you something similar that's currently at Sézanne, but it's not quite it. Because the thing is that when they wear these oversized bomber jackets, they're not sterile. They're very fun. Like, sometimes they're like leopard print, sometimes they're like really like beautiful like burgundy colors, like sometimes there's zebra stripes. Like, they're really cool and funky. And so I think that's what kind of makes it such a cool, funky look, is that the jackets themselves are very fun. They're very expressive. They're a way for them to show their style, obviously. And so, to me at least, I think it's super cute how they just style up these like oversized bombers. And one of the ways they often pair them is they can do them, yes, sometimes they do it with the kicker pants, but then other times with just straight leg denim, also sometimes flare denim, like, you know, like a little bit of denim flare, sometimes boot cut, and then very often they are paired with like the low heeled boots, but then also sometimes paired with the cowboy boots, and then also other times just paired with, you know, sneakers. Last but not least, this I would say is the Parisian girl uniform for fall. Like, the moment fall comes out, these girls pull out their blazers, and they have so many fabulous blazers. And the way that the look tends to work is you pair the blazer with like your straight leg Levi's 501 jeans, and then you wear a little itty bitty boot with it with a low ankle. You wear that, or you can wear your sneakers with it, or you can wear loafers with it, or you can wear your cowboy boots with it. But either way, the blazer with the straight leg denim, like Levi's 501 combo, and generally the blazer is like herringbone. I am telling you, that is the Parisian girl fall uniform. Like, that is it. You see that on every single woman who is walking down the street. And it's funny because even as I was preparing to make this video, I happened to look down on the street and I saw 3 girls walking by with like kind of that exact same kind of outfit formula. Well, one thing I do want to note though is that obviously there are a lot of French influencers that you might see on social media, or you might see them on Instagram, whatever, and they have like outfits, and you know, maybe they're wearing heels places or short skirts places or whatever else. I can say that I think that a lot of that style, it's very much like internet style, because very rarely, if ever, do I see like Parisian women wearing those things. Even frankly, young girls, you just don't really see them wearing that sort of thing very often. In fact, I would say it's something that I tend to see more often on tourists who are visiting, and not necessarily on people who live here. And particularly if you do see it on someone who lives here, they're generally like taking photos. Let's just put that out there. So as a result, that's why I say that I think that a lot of a lot of what we see isn't the true kind of most authentic version of Parisian style, because I think if really just like you showed just what the Parisians were wearing, it would be these 5 things, and that's it. That's all the feed would be. Blazers, leather, Sherpa jackets, kicker pants, straight leg denim, or Levi's 501s, and that's it. So anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed getting to see the 5 things that I find very chic and very fun about Parisian fall fashion. Definitely let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye!